How's everybody?
Great.
Good, good. Well, hopefully if you guys are doing the QR code, that's a pretty cool little tool. We're going to be talking about that here tonight. If you don't have it done, that's okay. You can finish it later. But it is something that you're going to want to do, because I will get those results, and then I can judge you. Okay? All right.
Do you have an example of that, by the way?
Of the LRQ, the printout, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll get, it's pretty cool. We'll talk about that here tonight, though. Okay, so I want to welcome you guys to Love My Guts. Why am I doing a workshop about your gut when I'm a chiropractor? Because who said that? Yeah, of course. Number front and center, because it's important. Very good answer, Alexis, yes. It is very important. In fact, I'm going to tell you how and teach you tonight how important your gut health really is. Because most people don't know how important your gut health is to things like your immune system, inflammation, IBS, like I said, your immune system. What about your mental health, cardiovascular health? It's all tied to having a healthy gut, and that's what we're going to talk about here tonight. This means a lot to me because I've come on a journey about gut health. I suffered with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, for 25 years of my life. And as a kid, going to doctors and never getting an answer except just deal with it or take these drugs. And I didn't want to take medication, so I just dealt with it. And if you're like many people, you just deal with it because you don't know that there's anything different. It just becomes your normal. You guys know what I'm talking about. I see this all the time in my office, whether it's you guys have diarrhea all the time, and that's just how my body works, or I get headaches all the time, and that's just how my body works. None of those things are really normal. And tonight we need to talk about how to make some changes by getting to the root cause of these problems. So I made a big change in my life back in 2009. I read a book called Clean. It's a great book if you ever want to read it. Dr. Alejandro Junger wrote it. He's a cardiologist. And the reason why he wrote it was he was tired of people having heart attacks, giving them a new heart, and then them going home from the hospital, stopping and getting a cheeseburger. It's like, well, you guys need to figure out that what your lifestyle did to you. It caused this problem in the first place. Just giving you a new heart or clearing out the blockage is not going to fix the problem. We need to get to what caused it in the first place, which was the lifestyle people were living. And it really made a change in my life because I made changes with how I ate and what I ate, and I looked at the quality of the ingredients of the food I was cooking with. Because here's the thing, I thought I was healthy because I cook a lot of the meals. I'm the chef in my house. I love cooking. If I was not a chiropractor, I'd have a restaurant. And because of that, I thought that I was healthy because I made my own meals. And I wasn't. And again, anybody here have IBS? Anybody know the pain?
Yes.
You know the anxiety that's tied to that?
Yes.
What's that?
My stepdaughter has.
Yep.
She has an excuse like you say, well, it's just have to deal with it.
Yep. And that's what you're told. I mean, because there's no real medical cure for it. So when they don't have a cure for it, they just tell you that's just the way you're going to be. I'd have to run to the bathroom after every meal. So before I would eat at a restaurant, I needed to know where the closest bathroom was. I needed to know where the bathroom was. Going on trips, going out of town, it was a lot of anxiety. My brother has it. He doesn't want to fly because of it, because he's worried about having to go to the bathroom on an airplane. Nobody wants to do that. But these things are not end-all be-all. This is not a life sentence. And when I read that book and I made the changes, and in 1 month I lost 25 pounds and my IBS was gone. And it really just came down to what I was eating and how I was eating it and when I was eating it. So tonight I'm going to challenge you guys. If you guys have gut issues, and you might not, some of you know you have gut issues, we've talked about it. Some of you might learn tonight that, oh, I do have a gut issue that I didn't realize was a gut issue. I'm going to challenge you guys to do this with us over the next couple of weeks, where we're going to give you guys a plan. You're going to follow the plan for 3 weeks. Some of you might lose some weight. Some of you might gain some weight, because guess what? It's not about weight. It's about restoring health. So if you're underweight, you'll gain weight. If you're overweight, you'll lose weight. It's all about balance. But you will feel better, your body will function better, and you'll be healthier because of it. So if you want to do that with us tonight, we're going to show you how to do that. Because me and my staff, we will be doing that, whether they like it or not. We're going to be doing it just so you guys can have accountability partners. We will be those for you, okay? So as a Max Living doctor, we are on a mission to change healthcare. You guys should know that. That's why you're here, right? You know that we're trying to do something bigger than just fix people's backs and back pain and neck pain and headaches. We're trying to restore life to people's bodies. And it really comes down to teaching people that you are supposed to be healthy. If you just understand that one concept, that you are supposed to be healthy, you might make different choices in your life. Why are we running to medical doctors when we lose our health? What are they going to do for you? Give you drugs, give you medication. Does that create health in your body? No. So over this past year and a half, a lot of my patients have not been very scared of what's been going on in the world because they have that faith and they have that understanding of how the body is supposed to work. And instead of running and getting vaccines or drugs, what are they doing? What they've been doing, which is creating health in their body. The best defense you have is already inside of you. Just nurture it. And if we're all supposed to be healthy, yet we're not where we're supposed to be, that means that there's some blockage. There's some type of interference somewhere in your lifestyle. And as a Max Living doctor, our job is to find out where these interferences are and remove them so we can help you be as healthy as you're supposed to be. And what's really cool is that I'm not doing this alone. We have over 400 offices across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico doing the exact same thing. And we have more offices every single week because more and more chiropractors, they understand, they're starting to see that how successful we are about helping change communities. And that's really what it's all about. I love coming to the office every single day that we are open because I love seeing people's lives change. That's my favorite part. So why do we need more chiropractic offices? Why do we need more people understanding this concept? Because as a nation, we are very, very sick. 70% of Americans have digestive issues. 70%. That's 7 out of 10 people in this room have digestive issues. But they don't do anything about it. Why? They think it's normal. That saddens me. Because what are they going to do about it if they think it's normal? Nothing. They're just going to live that way. They're going to be miserable. And as you'll understand here by the end of tonight, if your gut is not healthy, you have gastrointestinal issues, you can't be healthy. And it leads to bigger, worse diseases. I mean, just the state of the United States, the health of the United States, 655,000 Americans die of heart disease every year. 553,000 Americans die of cancer every single year. How many people died of COVID? Do you guys know? I don't pay attention to the news. I don't look at numbers, but I was just curious. 2 million in the world? I didn't think it was that many. Or would they think it was COVID at least, right? I don't know. The tests are being recalled. I don't know if you heard that one. Yeah. The test that started the whole pandemic have been recalled because they can't tell the difference between COVID and the flu, which is why there were 60 cases of the flu last year. That's a whole other workshop. We're not going to talk about that. Yes. But what is really sad also this year is depression, anxiety, and suicides through the roof. They're not talking about that. You have to understand wearing a mask is devastating to the psyche and you don't realize it. Making your kids wear masks to school is devastating to their psyche and they don't understand. And then you wonder why your kids are sad or they don't want to go outside and play or they're always timid. Whatever it is, it messes with the brain and their self-esteem. It's not good, which is why I'm very excited that Cherokee County has determined that they are going back to full-on pre-pandemic protocols for everything. I've never been more excited to live in this county or Georgia ever. So very happy to be able to tell you guys that. So was Hippocrates correct? He was you guys have heard of the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm first, right? He is the father of modern medicine. He said all diseases begin in the gut. Interesting. Just listen to him, maybe we'd be further along with how we take care of our health. But look at all these things that can happen from gut issues. Autoimmune diseases, brain disorders, cognitive decline, cancer, fatigue, joint problems. Of course, we have IBS, infertility, allergies, asthma. I mean, most skin issues come from the gut. Yet, where do we go when we have a skin issue? To a skin doctor. And what do they give you? Steroid creams to fix the skin problem. Is the skin the problem? No, the skin is just a window to your gut. And if you have skin issues, it's a gut issue. Fix the gut, skin clears up. that hard. It's just about what kind of training, what training does the doctor have that you're talking to? What's their approach? Is it just to cover things up or get to the root cause? But tonight is all about this guy here. This is kind of interesting. And just to let you guys know, this is not a lecture. If you guys have questions, I love questions. Bring it on. Okay. If you guys have something that you'd like to talk about, I'd love to hear it. But this is pretty interesting to think about. The digestive system. It's basically a couple solid organs like your liver, your pancreas, and your gallbladder, and the rest of it's just a tube. So think about a hose. If I took a hose and I put it in my body and it goes in my mouth, it goes all around, you get your intestines and all that other stuff, and it comes out your behind, and I just turn the water on, and the water just comes out the behind, right? Was the water ever actually in my body? No, it was just in the tube, right? That's the same thing as our digestive system. Isn't that weird to think about? You eat food, it never actually goes in your body. It stays inside this tube until it comes out. But thank God the food doesn't look like food when it comes out, right? Hopefully not. Sometimes with IBS, you never know. Okay? I'm not going to get gross here, but... is that too far? Oh, I could go further. I mean, I don't want to go there. But yeah, so... And everything has different purposes, but the major purpose of your digestive system is to break down your nutrients. So you have macronutrients and you have micronutrients. Your macronutrients are your fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Protein is used to make muscle. Fat is used for energy and to create hormones. And your carbohydrates are typically used for energy production. Have those in a proper ratio. And then you have what are called micronutrients, as your vitamins and minerals. Those are all important for all the biochemistry reactions that happen in your body that you need to happen all the time for you to even function. That's the purpose of your digestive system. So it breaks things down in different parts of the digestive system to absorb those nutrients so that your body can use them. Make sense, right? Any questions so far? Okay. So I told a couple of people this. This is a 3-hour lecture. Anybody leaving yet? No. I told you this, right? That's it, you guys. Yeah. But I whittled it down to 1 hour, depending on how many questions people have. Michael's already out. I got 2 Michaels like, we're out. 3 hours? Honey, you didn't tell me it was 3 hours? Yeah. It really was supposed to be 3 hours. There's a lot of good stuff I had to take out just because I didn't want to be here 3 hours. I know you didn't want to be here 3 hours, but I'm going to touch upon a lot of that stuff for you here tonight. So we now know what the purpose of your digestive system is to do. Now, inside your digestive system, you have what's called a microbiome. Everybody say microbiome.
Microbiome.
It's a fun, you say it, I like how Sydney said it, bio. It's fun. It's fun to say like that, isn't it? It is. Does anybody know what your microbiome is?
Is your good bacteria?
Very good.
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
No, it's okay. That doesn't count then.
Okay.
You weren't called on. But you're absolutely right, Lindsay. It is your bacteria. It's bacteria that live in our gut. Here's an interesting fact. We have more cells of bacteria in our gut than we have cells in our entire body. Which means that we're technically more bacteria than we are human. Isn't that weird? Yep. We have about 2.5 pounds of bacteria living in our belly right now. It sounds kind of gross, but interesting. What is it there for? You guys know what it's there for?
To keep the bad bacteria in check.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What did you say, Mike?
Digestion.
Digestion. Mm-hmm. So it does a bunch of different things. I'll give a slide on it. Yeah. I try to go through these slides. I don't like slides. I like to just talk and not have any slides. We've done that once before, right? Was it the last workshop that didn't work? So I just talked. I was like, okay, great. Perfect. No slides. Yeah, so the microbiome is bacteria, viruses, and fungi that live inside of our gut. They're all supposed to be there. Now, they're supposed to be in a certain ratio and balance. And when everything's in balance, you have a very healthy microbiome. Now, what is the purpose of that bacteria? Well, it activates digestion. It keeps bad bacteria at bay. It takes care of viruses. It activates your immune system. Very important stuff. And it's very important to nurture that bacteria and make sure it's always happy and healthy. Have you guys ever heard of the gut-brain connection? This is also quite interesting. I got all kinds of interesting facts. I'll be writing them all down. There's a test at the end. Very good note taker here up front. She'll charge $5 a sheet and make the copies up front and pass them out. Okay, that is cheating. But the gut-brain connection. We have 100 billion neurons in our brain. Pretty amazing, just like that, right? Our brain is where we think and feel. You have 500 million neurons in your gut. That is the second highest concentration of neurons in your entire body. So they actually call your gut your second brain. So have you ever got nervous about something, then your stomach starts to hurt?
Mm-hmm.
That's the connection. Have you ever had belly aches and then get a little anxious or nervous or tired or can't think straight anymore? Connection. Yeah, so they are very much connected. They also, the gut-brain connection, your gut produces 90% of the serotonin in your whole body. Does anybody know what serotonin does? It puts you to sleep or your mood. Does it make you happy or sad?
If you have too much, I think it can make you, or if you don't have enough, it can make you sad.
Correct. So
Yes.
it makes you happy. Yes. So serotonin is your feel-good neurotransmitter. We're supposed to have serotonin. If you don't have enough serotonin, like Shannon said, you can become depressed. And then they put you on serotonin medications, right? Antidepressants. And does that work on your gut? It works on your brain, which only makes 10% of the serotonin in your body. Why don't we just nurture our gut, where 90% of it's made? So think about it. If you're constantly eating bad food, your microbiome is no longer happy or in balance, can that make you depressed? Yeah, because how is your body supposed to function? How is your gut supposed to function properly if it doesn't have the food it needs? It's not making the 90% of the serotonin. You're going to become depressed. Now you're going to be on a medication. When if you just followed some of the guidelines that we teach, some of those principles, we never had that problem in the first place. So if you're depressed, anxious, not as happy as you think you should be, it's probably a gut problem, not a brain chemistry problem. That's a good thing, because I can help with that. Yes. So the gut and the immunity, they are connected. We kind of talked a little bit about this. 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut. That proper microbiome is a huge part of your immune system. So again, if our microbiome is out of line, if it is out of balance, can your immune system function properly?
Yeah.
No. And then guess what happens to you? You get sick a lot. And then we go to doctors. And then we take medications. And it causes more problems. Mm-hmm. So do you guys start to get a connection here about how important our gut is? It's not just are you pooping or not. Okay? Sorry, Alexis. I wasn't talking about you, but so if we are having issues with our immune system, if we're having issues with digestion, if we're having issues with mental issues, serotonin issues, we have to think about our gut, and we have to think about this. Our gut's supposed to properly function, correct? Yes? Right. If it's not functioning properly, it leads to these different problems. So what do we need to look for? Interference. Interference is the cause of all disease, okay? Because because if you're supposed to be healthy and you're not healthy, that means there's some interference somewhere in your body. We have to just find out where it is. And it's probably your nervous system or your gut. So, what causes interference in your gut? Everybody say dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis.
So dysbiosis is an imbalance of your microbiome. And we're using all kinds of big words here, right? Microbiome, dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is when your bad bacteria is out of control. It's no longer in balance because good bacteria, like Lindsay said, it keeps bad bacteria at bay. And this, again, you're going to have it. It's a balance. But when it goes out of balance, too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria, now your immune system doesn't function very well. Now your body's yelling at you. Food, cramping, gas, not going to the bathroom, going to the bathroom too much. So these are problems. So for example, I have a patient who's a little boy, not even 2. And when I went to adjust him the other day, Mom's like, oh, he passed gas, I'm really sorry. I'm like, no big deal. Then I was like, oh my gosh, that's not supposed, the little baby tunes are not supposed to clear the room. Okay, I said, that's not normal. Something's off with that. That means the gut is in dysbiosis. So just so you all know, gas is normal. Everybody does it. If it clears the room, not normal. Okay? Okay. So that tells me, so just understand if that, understand it's funny, I love it. If that's happening, that's your body telling you something's not right. That is an absolute sign of dysbiosis, which means you need to start looking at your gut. That means that there's something wrong with your gut. And the protocols we're going to teach here tonight and do for the next 3 weeks can help reset that. And when I had IBS, I was that guy. I thought it was hilarious. My brother's my sister. You can call him right now. Yes. But no longer. Thank God. Okay. So dysbiosis is a disruption. And what's interesting, I'm going to put some of these up here. You can look at them if you like, but these are medical research studies showing dysbiosis is disruption and can actually be causing colorectal cancer. Interesting stuff. This one here shows it's gut dysbiosis is linked to hypertension. So now we have heart issues because of our gut. Now we have cancer because of our gut being in dysbiosis. So this is not something we want to ignore. We want to take this quite seriously. The good news is it's not that hard to fix. It just takes some time and discipline. But it's absolutely fixable. So if you go to a doctor and you have a digestive issue, let's say you have some type of infection anywhere in your body, what do they do for that?
Antibiotics.
They give you antibiotics. So if you have a bacterial problem anywhere in your body, instead of targeting the cause of it, they just bomb the whole city, right? So they give you an antibiotic. So if your child has an ear infection, they'll put a little, antibacterial wipes or whatever in your ear. They give you and put it into your mouth, into your digestive system. It goes where? Into your gut. Does it just kill the bad bacteria? No, it kills all bacteria. Antibiotics are very, very powerful because they wipe it all out. So now guess what? You have no microbiome. It's been destroyed. Now, it will grow back, right? Have you guys ever had a child who had an ear infection? You took them to the doctor and you gave them an antibiotic. They took the antibiotic, it cleared up. And a week or two later, what happened?
It came back.
It came back. Do you guys know why it came back?
Because it was resistant.
Nope. You bombed the city.
Oh.
You bombed the city. You cleared out the whole microbiome. It's blank. Guess which one, good or bad, bacteria grows back faster? You got it. What happens? Immune system depressed, infection returns. What's the answer then? Bomb the city again.
Another antibiotic.
Oh, now we keep bombing the city and it's not working now. We gotta just put tubes in the ears because that fixes everything. So just an example as to just, it doesn't make sense. If you look at the big picture holistically, looking at the body as a whole, that only should happen, bomb the city, if I'm about to die. If I have a blood infection, bomb the city. Go for it, okay? If I have a blood infection, do it. But ear infection, absolutely not. Sinus infection, that's usually what I hear adults going to the doctor for, and I need an antibiotic. We're going to bomb the city because you're stuffy. Listen, they're not fun. They're miserable. Sometimes they last a couple weeks. Do I run to the doctor and take an antibiotic still? No, because I know this stuff. I don't want to bomb the city. I'd rather do more natural versions of stuff, like colloidal silver. Obviously getting adjusted, but get the interferences. Hopefully we never got there in the first place. So if you bomb the city, let's say you did do that, what do you think you should do to help restore the microbiome? Good bacteria. Those are called probiotics. So if you ever were to, so just so you guys know, no judgment, but if you ever do or did take an antibiotic, you absolutely 100% need to restore your microbiome by adding probiotics back to your diet. And you would do it as soon as you start taking the antibiotics for at least 4 weeks after. But you do not want to take your antibiotic close to the probiotic because they would just cancel each other out. You need that probiotic at least 2 hours away from your dose of antibiotics. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Okay? Pretty important stuff. Yep. All right. So again, we talked a little bit about this already. Here's some direct signs that you have a gut problem. So upset stomach, let's say unintentional weight changes, gaining weight, losing weight all of a sudden, sleep problems, fatigue, food sensitivities, bloating, skin problems, and then the digestive issues we kind of talked about a little bit already. Running to the bathroom, cramping, those types of things. Those are all signs that you already have a digestive issue. We need to fix that now. You guys know about inflammation. Inflammation is the root of all disease. Because this is what happens first before you get cancer. This is what happens first before you get heart disease. This is what happens first before you get autoimmune diseases. And where does this inflammation happen? It happens in our gut. Has anybody raised your hand if you've heard of leaky gut before? Yes. Can anybody tell me, explain it? I'm going to teach. Oh, ready? No. Okay. So here, I'm going to try to make this simple.
Like the cartoon.
Well, yeah. I'm going to try to keep this simple. Okay. I was going to draw. I'm not going to draw. Okay. So remember, we have our digestive systems that hose. Do you guys know what a soaker hose is? Those black hoses you turn on, water doesn't come out, just kind of like seeps out, right? That's normal. That's what our digestive system in the small intestine especially is supposed to do, because that's where the nutrients are supposed to seep through and go into the bloodstream, so your body can now take the micro and macronutrients and do what it needs to do with it. Makes sense. So those little holes that things seep through are called gap junctions. So your cells are like blocks, and they're like this. Nice and tight gap junctions. The only things that go through are the things that need to go through. If we continue to eat toxic food, number one is gluten. Gluten is highly inflammatory to the gut lining. But then you have trans fats, bad fats. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. What it does, it takes these cells and they inflame. So if they inflame, it separates them. So that gap junction now becomes a wide junction or a wide gap. So now big pieces of food, not big pieces of steak or anything, but bigger pieces of food can fit through those junctions and get into your bloodstream. Now, if we're eating food, let's say we're eating steak or chicken, that's muscle, right? That's muscle tissue from an animal. Well, your body recognizes this muscle tissue in the bloodstream. It's not supposed to be there, and it thinks we need to destroy it. So what do you have? You have an autoimmune reaction to this. And that immune reaction is a good thing, because it's like, oh man, this is not supposed to be, let's destroy it. But because the muscle tissue looks a lot like human muscle tissue, your body is now reacting to all muscle tissue. And you can get things like fibromyalgia. You can get things like type 1 diabetes, like psoriasis. It goes after your joints, depending on what it is reacting to. So by eating bad foods, which are the ones we're going to talk about here tonight, I'm going to tell you exactly what to eat, what not to eat. It can cause leaky gut, which is going to lead to inflammation in your body. And inflammation leads to cancer and heart disease, but also autoimmune diseases. Because you have to understand something. This is a principle of chiropractic. Your body is always doing the right thing at the right time. And it's never going to destroy what is the vessel in which it lives. So your innate, inborn intelligence is not going to say, let's destroy ourselves. And that is what autoimmune diseases are touted as. Your body's attacking itself. There's no way in the world that would ever happen on purpose. Again, you have to look at cause. It might look like it's destroying itself because of something like this happening. There's always a reason. The good news is you can fix leaky gut. Honestly, if you're eating wheat, you probably have some version of leaky gut. This is why I don't eat it very often at all. And it actually helped me a whole bunch. So is it possible to heal? What's the answer? Absolutely. It's possible to heal from everything and anything, isn't it? As long as your body has no interference and you have time, your body can absolutely heal. This is the principle of chiropractic. We understand that the body is self-healing. It's a self-healing and self-regulating being. With no interference, you are going to be at 100% health. With interference, it cannot express health. It cannot be health. You cannot be healthy. So this is why we look at the real definition of health. Health, as you guys have learned here in this office, has nothing to do with how your body feels. It has everything to do with how your body heals. You guys remember that? The definition of health has to do with healing, not feeling. Because look at this chart. This is kind of interesting. 100% vitality and health. No more vitality. No more life. 100% life. This is where we want to be. But look, this is the false wellness zone, this comfort zone. because you can still feel pretty good, but your body's not healing and functioning at optimal levels. And you can be in that comfort zone for years and think, well, it ain't broke, don't fix it. What I'm doing must be working until it's too late. This is why I don't like waiting to do things, especially when it comes to our health. I've been learning this lesson lately to not put things off to tomorrow, which I should be doing today. You know, that's the procrastinator's thing. I had a patient, she's been a patient of mine for 17 years. And she got cancer about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. And she decided to go the medical route. And I supported her through it, do whatever I can to help support her body. And when I was out of town last week, she called and says, I'm not going to be able to make it here anymore. I'm going to hospice. I was like, what happened? Like, she's here every Friday morning at 11 o'clock. She's here. We see her every week. She never missed an appointment in 17 years. So I called to talk to her, and her husband answered, said she's not really doing that great. The doctors gave her 6 to 8 weeks. I was like, well, that's not good. I said, do you want me to come over? I'll be glad to adjust her to the house. I'll do whatever. She's just too frail right now. I said, well, how can I communicate with her? He said, just text her. I said, great. So I told my wife, because my wife knows her well, and I said, we're like, we should make a video. Like, this would be nice to make a video, tell her how much she's meant to us, and we love her, and this and that. I said, yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, so we can do that on Monday. She passed away Saturday. It's just a lesson for me, for you guys. What the hell are we waiting for? For anything. And when it comes to your health, why do we wait until we have a problem to take care of it? I don't know. And we all do it. I don't want anybody doing that anymore. Right? It's not, hey, I don't really have a problem. I don't need to be here tonight. Don't care. We all have problems. We all need to be healthier. We all could be healthier. Would you agree with that? Absolutely. We can all be healthier. We need to do something. Even if it's a small little change, I don't care. Do something better. I want you to leave here tonight, make one small change. I'd be very happy about that. Okay, I'm not looking for transformations as much as I love them. One small change over and over is where you're going to make those big changes. So we need to look at the healing of the gut through the eyes and the lens of the 5 essentials. And the 5 essentials of the max living lifestyle. This is what we teach here. This is what everybody really truly needs to live by, and it's not the most difficult thing in the world to do. Okay, it's just about doing it. We just got to do it. So we talk about max mind, we talk about the nervous system, we talk about nutrition, we talk about exercising, we talk about minimizing our exposure to toxins. I joke, I think it's great that there's only 5. Thank God there's only 5, not 10 things we need to do, right? Thank God there's only 5. But most of us in this room, we're still not doing all 5. And I don't want you picking and choosing what's the easy one for me to do right now. I'm going to do that one later. I want to do this one now. Guys, a little bit of all 5 is a lot better than one really good one. Okay? And that's really what this whole LRQ lifestyle risk questionnaire comes into play. This is a very powerful tool that was developed by Max Living just recently, so this is brand new for us. This is what you guys were doing. Some of you may have completed it. Some of you may not have completed it yet. I suggest everybody, even the kids, complete it. Be very honest. It's only going to work if you're honest. Okay, like I said, there's no judgment. We want you to see where you are. What's really neat about this, I think I have a picture of it. Oh, it does. It gives you an idea of your risk level, of your health. Are you in like crisis mode? Oh man, I can't just make one change. I need to make many changes right now. But what's really neat about this is it gives you all 5 essentials, and it gives you a score for each of the essentials. And it'll show you, and me, because I'm going to see these, where do you need help right now? Are you in crisis mode in nutrition, but you're pretty good at toxicity? Cool. We don't need to talk about toxicity. We need to really focus on this one. So I think it's going to be an awesome game changer for my patients. It was really neat. We're going to do things, and then we're going to do it again. And we're going to see the changes. Cool stuff? Yeah, so make sure if you didn't complete it tonight, do it when you get home. Okay? I don't know if you did or not. All right. So what are the steps to healing and recovering from digestive issues, gut health? We need to identify the cause, and then we need to address the interferences, and then restore vitality. And we're going to do that through a couple of different steps. What's the cause of poor gut health? Number one, for nutrition. That burger does look good though, doesn't it? Here's my favorite part about nutrition. You can still eat the things you want to eat. I'm making burgers. I have a friend coming in town this weekend. I'm making burgers. It's not going to look like that though. I'm using grass-fed beef. I'm using grass-fed cheese. I'm not using a bun. I'm using collard greens. You blanch them for a minute. Delicious. Nitrate-free, nitrate-free. Jalapenos, make my own mayo, make my own, use some ketchup. I'm getting hungry. You talk. Yes. So, and they are fantastic. They are better than that burger all day. And there's no gluten in there. There's no high inflammatory meats in there. It's all grass-fed. So that, by eating that burger, will actually create health in your body, believe it or not. That one right there will create disease. And I still eat my burgers. So this is quite interesting. Some dietary, not guidelines, but dietary statistics of the nation. 2/3 of Americans do not eat fruit or vegetables at least twice a day. 2/3. 82% do not want to give up the foods they like. No way. Of course you don't want to give up the foods you like, but like I said, you don't have to. If you just change the quality of the ingredients that you're already cooking with, most people won't even know you made a change. Change the fats, change the quality of the meat, nobody's gonna have any idea. And you'll be healthier because of it. 62% say they don't have time to track their diet. Good news, don't do that. I've never done that ever, you don't need to do that. 60% say they like to prepare meals in 15 minutes or less. Okay, you can do that. Not all the time, but you can do that. Planning ahead is really the key. If you don't plan, I mean, you might as well just not bother because you're going to eat crappy food and you're going to go to order pizza. I mean, it's just, it's the go-to, right? You can't figure out what to eat, order pizza. 36% say that they have no leisure time to get physical activity in their day. Again, good news, you don't need a lot of time to get fit. Have you guys seen me, Whitney, or Sydney walk around here today yet? Don't ask me to pick something up off the floor. We did a max T3 workout yesterday. It was 12 minutes long. 0 weights, no weights at all. Just 2 different exercises. And I can't sit down.
Yeah, don't watch me get up.
I don't want to sit down. I don't want to bend over and pick anything up. It's a good feeling. Understand that we're not complaining. They might be. I'm not complaining because if I don't feel sore after a workout, I'm like, what the hell? I didn't work hard enough. So good stuff. So let's go through things to avoid. Top 5 foods to avoid. Number 1, Alexis, ready? Sugar. How much sugar is in a frappuccino? Is it triple digits?
Probably.
I mean, it's at least 75 grams of sugar. Does anybody know how much sugar you're supposed to eat in an entire day? How many grams?
74.
What's that?
74.
No. Let's try frappuccino. 35. 35 grams of sugar per day is what you're supposed to have. How much is, you guys know how much is in a Coke? 1 12-ounce Coke?
50.
I think it's 53.
55 or
Yeah, 55 or 53. In 1 20-ounce Mountain Dew, 73.
Oh.
So if you want diabetes, just keep drinking that stuff because when diabetes happens, when you drink more sugar than your body can handle. That's also how you gain weight very, very quickly because your body can't handle the sugar, it turns it into fat. Excess sugar, fat. So let's just not drink that stuff. It's not that hard to do. And I understand this is coming from a person who drank Cokes breakfast, lunch, and dinner as a kid and then didn't know why I was an insomniac. Couldn't sleep. Don't know why I can't sleep. I don't know. Have a Coke. Interesting. Highly processed foods, and then artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners, you have to understand this. They're not sugar. They are chemicals that trick your taste buds into thinking it's sweet. So now you're using a chemical because it's not going to make you fat, right? Yeah. So you're putting chemicals into your body. Those are toxins. You think we want more or less toxins in our body? Less toxins. Toxins destroy everything in our body. They lead to cancers. They destroy the inner lining of your gut. So by drinking those drinks or using that in your food, you're causing interference. So ditch it. Yes.
My dad used to drink 6 Cokes a day. Well, he ended up living his last 3 years with only an eighth of a kidney. The rest of it had deteriorated.
From the Cokes. Crazy how bad that stuff really is. Destroys your kidneys, destroys your liver. Just don't drink it.
We died at 50. That's young.
Oh, that's awful. That's very young. Number 2, food we're going to avoid, gluten. You guys know what gluten is, right? Does anybody not know what gluten is? It's okay if you're raising it. You guys know what gluten is? Yes? You don't want to tell me. Okay. Anything with wheat in it. So, does that mean everything has to be gluten-free? You want to eat gluten-free bread now, gluten-free bagels, and all that stuff? Does that mean it's healthy? No. It just means there's no gluten in it. It's still mainly junk.
To avoid grains.
Depends. It depends. We're going to talk about that here in a second.
Okay.
Yep. Not all grains have gluten. Yep. The other thing we're going to avoid, conventional meats. So what I mean by conventional meats, I mean cows that are conventionally raised, like fed corn and grains. What are cows supposed to eat?
Grass.
Grass. So if they're meant to eat grass, and they do eat grass, their ratios of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are right where they're supposed to be, and that will not cause inflammation in your body. As soon as you start feeding these cows corn and grains, their omega-6 fatty acids, which is inflammatory, goes through the roof. And now you're going to eat that meat. So you're basically eating a big fat cow. I mean, think about it. If you're going to eat a cow, you want the big fat one, you want the big healthy one. You want the healthy one, right? The big one with the muscle, not the big, yeah. Right? It sounds weird to say, but it's true. We want the healthy cow. You have to start thinking, if you're eating an animal meat, you want to know, what was it eating? I want the one with the healthiest diet. You'd be disgusted if you knew what they fed these cows. I mean, it's candy. Candy with the wrappers on. It's called sweet pea. It's gross. So what kind of beef do we want? Grass-fed only. Sometimes, and listen, I get it, sometimes it's difficult to find that if you're out. Whenever I go to a new town and we're like, we want to do a steak dinner, I always just look up grass-fed steak. And there's usually a place that has grass-fed steak. I'm like, that's where we'll go if we want a grass-fed steak. There are places around town that have grass-fed steaks. So look for them. What about chicken? We want our chicken to be organic. And you want your fish to be wild-caught, not grass-fed. Farm raised, right?
Yeah.
So again, you guys start thinking, what is your fish eating before you eat it? So salmon is one of the best fish on earth, right? Healthiest fish because of the omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory. That is anti-inflammatory, and it has those omega-3s because of what it eats. So up in Alaska, in the Pacific Northwest, it's eating other fish, bugs, and critters, right? That's what they're supposed to eat. That diet is what creates the health and the healthy omega-3 fatty acids. If you ever see Atlantic salmon, understand there's no such thing as an Atlantic salmon. Okay? That is a salmon that's in a pen in the Atlantic Ocean being fed corn and GMO grains. So, do you think that's going to create healthy values of omega-3s? Absolutely not. It's creating omega-6s, causing inflammation. I read a study that showed that Atlantic salmon, or the farm-raised salmon, is one of the most toxic things you could ever put in your body. So if we ever go out to dinner, my wife wants salmon. Her first, she asks everybody, "Is this wild caught, or is this farm raised?" I don't know. Just so that you know, if they say I don't know, we know the answer. It's farm raised. And if it says Atlantic salmon, just understand there's no such thing. Farm raised. It needs to be wild caught, Pacific. And unfortunately, a lot of restaurants go for the cheaper stuff. And if you ever put them up side by side, it looks very different. I had a picture of it, I don't. Okay, next thing. Damaged or altered fats. You guys know what I'm talking about here? What are damaged fats? Does anybody know?
Is that the hydrogenated?
Yeah.
Like that's bad. I don't know what they do with it.
So damaged and altered fats, they take the fat and they alter it. So Lindsay was saying hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fats. What they do is they take vegetable oil and they heat it up to 400, 500 degrees under high pressure, and they add nickel in there. and it changes some of the chemistry bonds to go from a cis bond to a trans bond. You guys ever heard of trans fats? Anybody taking organic chemistry right now? Caitlin? Not yet? Is that next semester? Hopefully never. Yeah, okay, that's a tough one. But it changes the bond. And the purpose of that is so it changes its melting point. So vegetable is supposed to be liquid at room temperature, and it becomes a solid at room temperature. So and then when they dye it yellow and give it flavor, they can now call it margarine, or I can't believe it's not butter. No way, don't touch it. Gross. Why would you want to eat something I can't believe it's not butter? I mean, it's disgusting. So what do we want to eat instead? Grass-fed butter. So we used to think butter was bad for you, right? Because it's saturated fat, high cholesterol, all this stuff. Wrong. We need more fat in our diet. So I go through blocks of the Kerrygold butter a week because I just slather it on everything, big and fat. So just understand, fat does not make you fat. If fat made you fat, I'd be 400 pounds right now. Okay, because I eat a lot of fat. What are the other damaged fats? Are corn oil, soybean oil, vegetable oil, canola oil. So the stuff that we're talking about here tonight, this is in our Food 101 workshops. So if you haven't attended or listened to it, make sure you do. Now we're going to be doing one of those. When is it? August 26th. It's a recipe night. We are very excited to bring this back. We haven't done one in over a year. This is where we all have dinner together. But this place is too small for us, so we go to a church down the road, and we all bring in meals. Whitney creates a menu. She gives you the recipes. You make the recipe instead of 20, 30, 40 other people, and we all have a big dinner together. You get to try all these new recipes. You get to take the recipes home, and then we're going to do a Food 101 workshop there. So just mark your calendar, whatever the date is, 26, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the calendar's there for. Love the calendar. I'm like, what am I doing today? Okay. All right. And unfortunately, one of the other worst things you could do for your body and your digestive health, alcohol. So if you're a lot, that's bad for your gut. Especially hard liquor, very bad for your gut. But some of you are going, what about my wine? Right? You can drink wine all day. It's all good. Just no, it's all right. So the problem here with wine is that there's alcohol, but what else is in wine? Tons of sugar, right? Lots of sugar. What did you say?
I was going to say sugar.
Yeah. You're doing right. Yeah.
But it doesn't taste like it.
Because a lot of it's been fermented out, which is what creates the alcohol, but there is a lot of sugar in wine. However, studies have shown 1 glass of red wine has a lot of polyphenols, which actually helps your microbiome. So I didn't tell you to do it, but I'm saying if you were to, red wine would be the way to go. A glass, not a bottle. Okay? I know people are like, I only have 1 glass a day. I'm like, great. And then the glass is this big. It's just a whole bottle. That does not count. We're going to start being specific. How many ounces are we talking about? All right, so let's start talking about what we need to do more of. So we need more omega-3 fatty acids. Those are the anti-inflammatory foods. So wild-caught fish, nuts are high in omega-3s, probiotics, prebiotics. We're going to talk about all this stuff. I don't know why it's in my notes. Okay, we're going to start here, though. The core plan. This is our core foundation plan. This basically, the way I look at the core plan in our office, this is something that we all should be doing at a minimum. This should be your minimum standard diet in your whole household. It's not that difficult. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to eat more fats. Good fats, not bad fats. Okay? You fry food, you get potato chips, that's fried, those are damaged fats, you don't want that. Okay? More food by God, less by science. Less man food. Okay, if it has a label on it, I like things that don't have labels on it. Although I did see a tomato once that said tomato, real tomato flavor. I don't know what that means, and I'm not buying that tomato. Skipping the sugars and those sugar alternatives, the chemical alternatives. What can you use to make things sweet that's healthy for you?
Honey.
It's got sugar in it. But it's natural.
Stevia good.
That's what she was saying.
Oh.
So, yeah, stevia is probably your best bet. Although I have pretty bad luck making things taste good with stevia. I've had much better luck with xylitol. although it is a little bit processed and it's not the best thing for your digestive system, it can be an irritant. What I mean by that is if you eat too much, you will go to the bathroom a lot.
Or if you try to make Kool-Aid with it.
Yes, we had a CA that used to work for me that she's like, oh, my boyfriend won't know if I make his Kool-Aid because he liked Kool-Aid with xylitol instead of sugar. So she used like 4 cups of xylitol. Talk about diarrhea. Put in this. Yeah. Did you guys hear this though? The study came out that said that diarrhea is actually a genetic issue. Did you guys hear that? You guys know why? Because it runs in your genes.
No.
That was for you.
You got that one too, huh?
Yeah, right. And then we really need to stop counting calories. I've never counted calories. Counting calories is not what you need to be doing. You need to be looking at the ingredient labels. In fact, nutrition facts, the little nutrition label, I don't really look at that either. I look at ingredients. And if you start understanding what the ingredients are, they either line up with our principles of what we're supposed to eat or they don't. If they don't, you put it back on the shelf. And I'm going to be taking you guys shopping here soon. I can't wait for that. We used to do these all the time. Again, I just can't wait to get back to normal. But I'm going to take you guys to Costco, we're going to go to Kroger, and we're going to go on a shopping trip. I'm going to teach you guys how to read labels. When do you put it back on the shelf versus when do you put it into your cart? Because that's where good nutrition really starts. So the next, again, going back here, more fats. So going back to your question, Treva, can you eat grains? Yes, but they need to be whole grains. What that means is no more white rice. The only time I eat white rice is at sushi because I like sushi and whole grain doesn't taste right. Sorry.
And Indian.
Yeah, but yes. And Indian. Did you say that? We're trying to go without rice though. We've been eating no rice in Indian lately.
We've been doing a lot of goat meat.
Yes. That's cauliflower right away.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is basmati rice, is that healthy? Is that good?
It's a white rice.
Because I eat the brown one. There's a
Brown basmati is fine.
Okay.
So I want to explain to you, this is an interesting concept as to why we like the brown stuff versus the white stuff. And we're talking about rice, we're talking about potatoes, sweet potatoes versus white potatoes. We're talking about breads, whole grain bread versus white bread. There's a reason for it. And I'm a why person. I was talking to Sydney the other day. I'm a why person. I think she's a why person. I need to know why. I would tell you to eat this versus that instead of just do it. You're like, well, we're going to do it, right? So remember our microbiome, bacteria. What does bacteria feed on? You guys know? Sugar. Who said sugar? Very good, Cheryl. It's sugar, right? So white sugar, when you eat white sugar or white bread, it goes into your digestive system and then it gets to your small intestine, and all the bacteria there is like, I got everything. Yeah, exactly. It explodes because the white stuff is so easily digestible that it digests it very, very quickly. One, you get a spike of insulin, which is not great. Your blood sugar shoots up and crashes, which is why you don't feel very good. But also, if your diet is full of the white stuff, you're going to have a higher concentration in one area of bacteria. And then the rest of it is going to be more bad bacteria. So you can actually have that right there can cause dysbiosis because there's no more balance. If you eat the brown stuff, the whole grain, the brown rice, it digests a lot slower over time. So now it's instead of just one explosion of digestion here and then a concentration of bacteria, it's slowly digesting through its course, through the intestines, and you have more balance of the bacteria. Does that make sense? So again, eating white rice when you go to sushi once every couple months, a big deal? No. Eating white rice every night? Yes. So this is about creating better habits. And habits are things that you're going to be doing consistently, regularly. So I don't have white rice in my house. I haven't had white rice in my house for years. I have brown rice. But like I said, you go out for sushi, white rice. Make sense? All right. Yeah, our toilet's self-excited, by the way. So, top 5 things to eat routinely. Good, healthy, good quality protein. We find that, like we said, in the proper meats, but what about nuts and seeds? We can do nuts and seeds. What about protein powders? That's weird. I thought I had that on there. I'm going to think of a different slide. Raw vegetables, raw berries, organic berries, more fats like avocados, good stuff and good fats. This is the stuff we want to eat more and more and more of. Now, when Triva was asking, do I have to get rid of grains altogether? The answer for the core plan, this is something that we should all be doing, is no. If you have a digestive problem, you either knew it before you came here tonight or kind of figured maybe I do have a problem, we're going to go on what's called the advanced plan. And the advanced plan is the same as the core plan, but more fats, no grains, 0. Because what do grains turn into when you eat them? Sugar. And what feeds bacteria? Sugar. What causes dysbiosis? Sugar. See where it's going. Okay? And then you can still have fruit and berries, but they need to be the low sugar fruit and berries. So banana, that's high in sugar, so that's a no-no. Okay, what are we doing? Berries, Granny Smith, apples, and grapefruit. Again, this is in your book, the advanced plan. This is what you're going to want to look at. Do you have to be on the advanced plan your entire life? No, I don't eat the advanced plan all the time, but I will do 21 to 30 days at a time strict, because the whole purpose of the advanced plan is, one, to help heal your gut, help reduce inflammation in your body, help reset some of those leptin receptors that cause you to gain weight and not be able to lose weight. But it also turns you into a fat burner instead of a carbohydrate burner. So you actually get more energy. Your brain functions better. You feel better.
Also, the book he's talking about is the Align Your Health book.
That's the bluish green book. Yep. Okay. So we now need to heal our gut. There's 3 R's. Remove the bad foods. We now know what the bad foods are. Let's remove them from our diet. But now we need to start to repair. This is a great slide, isn't it? I thought there was more on that slide. Okay. I thought
It says it all.
It says everything I need. Repair. Perfect. Okay, good. So how are we gonna repair the damage that's already been done in our digestive lining? Well, for removing the offending foods, we can take certain supplements that are going to help repair the damage. So probiotics are one. There are some nutraceuticals like licorice and ciberium, marshmallow root, glutamine. L-glutamine is a very, very powerful amino acid that actually is designed to help heal the inner lining of your gut. So if you have leaky gut, it actually helps to shrink it. So there's a product here called Gut Renew, and it has all these things in it, plus a whole bunch of other things that are designed for leaky gut, for gut issues to actually help renew the intestinal lining, close those gaps, and help restore proper function. We have it in a powder. We also have it in capsules. The powder, I think you just do, 1 scoop? And how many capsules do you need?
8.
You gotta take 8 capsules a day. I don't care about that because I can take 20 at a time, but I don't think anybody else does that. So you probably want to have the powder. Digestive enzymes. This is not something that you need forever. I use these when I'm eating big meals. If I'm eating a meat-heavy meal, I would like to help my body digest this food. So your pancreas makes them, your gallbladder makes these digestive enzymes to help break down the fats and the carbohydrates and the protein. But if you already have digestive issues, there's a good chance that your digestive enzymes are out of line or minimized. So by taking this with a meal, basically it's going to help aid your body's ability to digest and break down the food, which makes it easier on your lower intestines, which will help reverse dysbiosis. Fiber. Very, very important aspect of health. This is not just for people that can't go to the bathroom, right? You always see the Metamucil ones, always the older people. It's like, no, everybody needs fiber. But a lot of people don't eat enough fiber. Especially if you're eating processed foods, there's very little fiber in processed foods. Eating the right type of fiber is very important as well. This has prebiotics in it, which is called inulin. And prebiotics are the fiber that probiotics need to populate and colonate your digestive system. So by getting this fiber in your body, you're going to help move things along. It also helps to take stuff that may be stuck to the inner walls of your digestive system and pull it along. So it gets thick and then moves out. Okay? Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s, we've been talking about those all night. They are inflammatory or anti-inflammatory? You guys remember? Anti-inflammatory. This is why everybody should be taking omega-3 fatty acids. So there's 2 things that every single person in this room should be taking. If you're not taking it or your kids are not taking it, I may have done it injustice by not making sure that that was happening. One is omega-3 fatty acids. Raise your hand if you eat cold water fish 3 times a week. Yeah, me neither. And if you're not eating that, you're not gonna have enough omega-3 fatty acids, which means if you're eating like even decent, your omega-6s are gonna be too high, which means you're causing what? Inflammation. So by getting either more fish in your diet, everybody loves fish, right? Yeah. Or just take your omega-3 fatty acid. So omega-3 fatty acid is going to bring inflammation down, but it's also there to help your brain function better. It reduces inflammation, reduces cancer, all these awesome things, coats the nerves, makes your body function better. So very important. The other thing is, does anybody know what the other thing is that we all need all the time as a supplement? Vitamin D. But vitamin D is technically free, right? If you're naked 30 minutes at lunch every day outside.
Right.
Yeah. No selfies to prove it, okay? I'm going to say you do. But we all need vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential for proper function in your body. It's essential for proper digestive system function. Also, it activates your immune system. A study came out that showed that if you have normal vitamin D levels, but in the lower third of what they consider normal, your body, you increase your chances of dying from any disease by 23%. So by taking vitamin D capsule, you just decrease your body's ability to die, I guess, from 23%. I mean, it's like that doesn't make any sense. Just take the pill. It's not that hard to do. And what's really cool about our vitamin D, it has probiotics in it. It's a 10 billion CFU, which CFUs are colony-forming units, which means that it's a good maintenance dose. But that's not why we put that in there. We actually put the probiotics in the vitamin D because it accentuates and accelerates the body's ability to absorb the vitamin D. Because that's really most important, how much you actually absorb. And that's why I love our supplements, because they're 100% high quality, but they're also very, very absorbable. Most of the stuff you buy over the counter, it's cheap for a reason. It does nothing. It does nothing. And honestly, the most expensive supplements are the ones that don't work. It could be $1. If it does not work, you just wasted 100% of your funds. Make sense? Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, that's just dietary. Again, medical research showing that taking omega-3 fatty acids reduces inflammation. How about it? They know. They're just not doing it.
Cod liver oil?
So cod liver oil is great for kids because it's high in natural vitamin A, vitamin D, and it has a reverse ratio of DHA to EPA, which is what kids need. They need more DHA than EPA. Those are both omega-3 fatty acids. If you did the optimal omega that we have, so we have 2 different omegas here at the office. We have the optimal, which is your 3s and 6s in the proper ratio. I recommend that for people that are already eating really well and are pretty stable. If you know you're not eating very well, you're probably inflamed or you have an inflammatory issue, you want our max omega-3, which is just 3s. You don't want the 6s because you already get the 6s from your diet that you haven't changed yet. Okay? And then the third step is re-inoculate, meaning, somebody said it, probiotics. Give your body more probiotics. So during these next 3 weeks, what we're going to be doing with you guys, one is probiotics. 1 capsule has 50 billion CFUs. I love when I have a patient come in and go, I'm taking probiotics. I'm like, great, what is it? It's like a lot. I'm like, well, how much? Like 500 million. I'm like, that's nothing. That's not right. 50 billion. We also have one here with 300 billion. Those are for people that maybe just took an antibiotic or really like IV antibiotic, they need that. But 50 billion is great. Do 1 a day, done. You're re-inoculating, you're repopulating, you're reestablishing symbiosis, proper, what's the word? What? Function, microbiome. Somebody's paying attention. Thank you. Okay. Clinical application of probiotics. Taking probiotics help people with type 2 diabetes. Again, gut health and type 2 diabetes. I'm telling you, it's all go back to the gut. And then we talked a little bit about the prebiotics. That's the inulin that's in your fiber. What we did for you guys is we put together a gut health bundle. I added one more thing to this because for the next 3 weeks, what I like to do, for those of you that want to do it with us, is a 3-week challenge. And what you can do tonight to get that challenge is you would text our phone number, What's the word?
Guts.
Guts. GUTS. If you text our number guts, you're going to get our 21-day reset. And what that is for 21 days, you're going to eat the advanced plan. No cheating. Okay? And we try to ease you into all this. So week 1, Michael, I see your face. Week 1, you get to eat 3 meals a day. Week 2, we're going to do some intermittent fasting, which means that we're only going to eat 2 meals a day. So you eat lunch and you eat dinner. After dinner, you eat nothing until lunch the next day. Not really. It's basically skipping breakfast. Everybody says breakfast is a staple, and I don't eat breakfast because I do intermittent fasting all the time. The longer you can go, the actually more detox you can have. The more weight you can lose. The better your gut can heal because you're putting less in. Week 3, 1 meal, but you can do a smoothie for your other meal. I'm going to tell you right now, doing a smoothie for dinner is fantastic because you're done in 5 minutes. It took 2 minutes to prepare, 3 minutes to chug it, you're done. You feel satiated, and you didn't put a whole lot of food into your body, so your body's not working overnight. And then you're satiated all the way till lunch the next day. Your body's really going to detox for those next 14 or 16 hours that you did not eat. Which is why we put our grass-fed whey protein into the bundle. Because if you're going to do it, you want to make sure you're using good protein. Please don't go out there and buy muscle milk or GNC stuff. You want to make sure it's grass-fed protein. You don't want any sugars in it or sucralose. All those proteins out there have either sugar in it or they use sucralose to make it taste good. We use stevia. This has never been heated over 160 degrees, which means that all the enzymes and all the protein has not been denatured, so it's still bioactive. So this actually helps you detox and lose weight. It's pretty amazing. It's not a weight loss shake or anything like that. I notice a major difference when I add this into my diet. When I am doing this, I will feel better, and I will lose more weight. And my body will heal better. So going back to the real definition of health, health has to do with how we heal, not how we feel, right? So what controls all health, healing, and function in our body? What organ system does that? Not sure question. What controls everything?
Your brain.
Thank you very much, Triva. Your brain, nobody else want to say it? Everybody's still using their brain to think. Wow. Yeah. Our brain and nervous system controls every function in our body. As long as there's no interference along your nervous system, your body should be able to heal and function at 100% the way God designed every single one of us to heal and function. Isn't that why you guys are here tonight? Isn't that why you guys are part of my practice? It's not because you want to get rid of your back pain, neck pain, or headaches. You want to be interference-free. You want to be as healthy as possible so you can be there for your kids, be there for your grandkids, and enjoy your life and never let your health get in the way of you living. That's my biggest fear. My health is going to get in my way. Your health is never supposed to get in your way. It's supposed to be there to help you get to do what you want to do and fulfill your purpose on earth. What's interesting is that when we get taught this in school, structure and function. Structure affects the function. So what I mean by that is the structure of your spinal cord and your spine. So this is very interesting. The only organ in your entire body that's completely surrounded by bone is your central nervous system. So when God created us, He thought a lot about that. He thought that central nervous system was quite important. And in order for it to not cause a problem, the structure of it has to be aligned so that function can properly happen. But what happens if we misalign our spine? The structure has changed. It puts pressure on a nerve. What does that cause? Subluxations. Everybody say subluxation.
Subluxation.
Yes, our nemesis, right? Subluxation. If you have a subluxation, it changes our function. This is why it's so important to take care of our structure so that our function is not destroyed. So how long should we be taking care of our structure? Forever. That's it. If you're subluxated, does it have to hurt? This is why so many people are walking around out there right now. Their function's off because their structure's off, but they don't feel it. So they think there's nothing wrong. This is why we need you to help us help more people. I'm tired of people just walking around getting sick and going to doctors. I'm tired of people thinking that, oh, my doctor said I'm going to have this for the rest of my life, so that's the end all be all. BS. I'm tired of all the BS people we're being fed. I can't be the only person that teaches people this stuff. I need your help. I need you to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers that if you want to be healthy, you cannot have a subluxation. And they're going to go, what the hell are you talking about? And you know what? You should know how to teach this to them by now. And then you're going to tell them that they need to go to a chiropractor that deals with subluxation and correct it, whether they live near here or nowhere near here. Go to a chiropractor that deals with subluxations. Remove them and keep them off your nerves for the rest of your life. Some of you have friends that are dealing with warning signs like headaches and neck pain. What about fatigue? What about digestive issues? What about infertility? I could stand here and say any symptom in the world, could it be caused by subluxation? The answer is, yeah, it could be. Do I know it for sure? I don't. What's the only way to know it's a subluxation? Well, fix the subluxation. Let's start finding out, do they even have a subluxation? I have family, they're like, you say chiropractic can fix anything. I'm like, well, it's not, you weren't listening. I said, could, if the cause was subluxation. That's the truth. How do you know if you're subluxated? Go to a chiropractor. Get an exam, take some x-rays. And go to a good chiropractor, right? One that actually does an exam, takes x-rays. I had a patient the other day came in and said, oh, my daughter's been having headaches for 1.5 years, and they went to a chiropractor. Oh, yeah, did they take x-rays? No. How often did you go? I went 3 times, it didn't work. It's like, well, geez. Whose fault is that? Unfortunately, it's the chiropractor's fault for not explaining and teaching them the principle of chiropractic. I x-rayed that girl. I was appalled by the fact that her curve was going completely the wrong direction. And now they're excited at the fact that I let them know that that is the cause of her headaches. And now let's get started. Again, 14-year-old with headaches every day for 1.5 years. Is that normal? No, but when you have it every day, it just becomes your new normal. We all know people that have that new normal. Not good. We need to take action. We need to tell people about it. So hopefully we're going to be doing a dinner here soon that you can have dinner with us. We haven't decided where we're doing it yet. It might be Downtown Kitchen, or it might be one of our patients has opened up a new Mexican restaurant in Canton. I had their tacos yesterday. Delicious. So we're trying to work things out that maybe we can take over their place and give everybody some good healthy tacos. All right. So a couple of gifts for you guys here tonight. One is a recipe book. It's got some new recipes in there. Good stuff. The other thing is, if you would like to do this challenge with us, supplements. We did a couple different things. Everybody's needs different things, but we have a basic health bundle, which is your Max GI and your probiotics. The Max GI is going to help kill some of the bad bacteria. It's going to help your digestive system heal. And then we have the probiotics, which is going to help re-inoculate. We also have the core health bundle, which is the Max GI, the probiotic, and then the gut renew powder. And then we have the advanced gut health protocol, which is those 3, plus the fiber, plus the protein, chocolate or vanilla. If you do one of the bundles, it's 20% off. That's the most discount we've ever given. And then if there's anything else that you need from us here tonight, supplement-wise, everything else will be 10% off.